Fellas, hope you're doing alright. It's Saturday night, man, and I have had the pleasure of playing with the Raid Exotic today. Huge shout out to Wild Wolf for landing this SMG and letting us play with it. Guys, let's talk about it because this thing is pretty nasty. I'm talking like Recluse nasty. Actually, to me, I like it more than Recluse. And even though it's considered a PvE weapon because you get it from the raid, it is one of the most lethal weapons inside of PvP. So let's take a look at Tarrabah. Tarrabah. I don't know, guys. These names, man, they just keep getting harder season after season. First up, intrinsically, it comes with the perk Ravenous Beast. This weapon stores power when dealing or receiving damage. Once full, you hold the reload to unleash the beast. Now the barrel perk here is extended barrel, which is great for that range. A very healthy range stat found on this SMG. Armor piercing rounds. And the other trait here, bottomless appetite. Dealing continuous damage extends the duration of Ravenous Beast. We're gonna talk about that. It also comes with hand-laid stock for that increase in stability. Now, let's talk about Ravenous Beast and what it does. So first up, if we take a look at the weapon, as I'm getting kills, you notice that orange bar is filling up. But it's not just filling up from kills, it's just simply filling up from me doing damage to enemies. Now, in something like Crucible, I'm guessing anywhere between like 300 to 400 health is how much damage you need to deal to fill this bar up. And that is when you take no damage. Again, this bar also fills up when you take damage. Now, upon filling up the beast here, you hold the reload button, similar to something like Hard Light, and the weapon will grant you Ravenous Beast. Now, Ravenous Beast, if I could give it a description, you get 7 seconds, guys, to essentially just go to Pound Town on everything in front of you. 7 seconds to just absolutely go off on everything. Now let's talk about the benefits of Ravenous Beast and what it does. First up, you'll notice an increase in rate of fire. This is a 750 round per minute SMG, and in something like Crucible, it's doing 20 per crit and 14 per body with a 0.77 time to kill. But once Ravenous Beast is unleashed, this increases our rate of fire to 900 rounds per minute, but it also increases our crit damage to 30 per crit and our body shot damage to 30 per body. Again, similar to Recluse here, but mathematically superior, giving us a time to kill here of 0.4 seconds. Guys, that's even better than Recluse with Master of Arms. Now, that's not the only benefits that we get here from Ravenous Beast. It also increases our reload speed, and inside of PvE, we get a hefty damage increase of 100% on crits and 185% on body shot damage. Now, let's talk about that bottomless appetite perk, because that's going to play a major role, especially inside of PvE. So as you deal more damage to enemies and kill enemies, this allows the weapon to hang on to Ravenous Beast a little bit longer. Now, I don't know the time frame in which you can hang on to this SMG's perk, but I feel like if you had something like Rally Barricade or Lunafaction Boots against single targets, you could probably stretch that timer to like 15 seconds. Again, I haven't actually tested it out, but as you see there, the duration, even against Greg, and I'm not taking advantage of any of those things, I'm simply just reloading with that increase in reload speed, and it's still hanging on to that Ravenous Beast duration. Now, PvP, you're not going to really take advantage of bottomless appetite. Even if you're going to get kills, yes, you'll regenerate sometime, but for the most part, there's just not a large amount of enemies in front of you to just constantly be refreshing the perk. So inside of PvP, the playstyle is really to go in there, get a kill or two with your SMG, move to the next group of enemies, open up Ravenous Beast, and just start wrecking everything. And believe me, boys, it can do it. Now, some downsides to Ravenous Beast and this perk. The moment you stow this weapon, whatever progress you made in proccing this perk goes away. A huge bummer. Like, I really wish it wouldn't do that. Like, I don't care if any of the damage that I take while having my other weapon out doesn't count towards that perk, but man, it would have been really nice if we would have been able to hang on to that progress toward reaching that full 100% of Ravenous Beast. So in order to really take advantage of this weapon, you're gonna have to main it the entire time pretty much, which really limits your gunfights to close quarters only. Now let's talk about the weapons and its stats and how it stacks up against our other SMGs, specifically against Recluse. So first up, I really like the range stat on this weapon. I think it's really healthy. Stability could be a bit better, but it's manageable. Recoil direction is also 90, so almost fully maxed out here. The aim assist value could be better, but is actually better than most other aggressive SMGs. Now, in terms of how it compares against Recluse, because Recluse is a monster. Hell, just about every Rumble game I play, It's Recluse game after game. Can this SMG replace Recluse? Inside of PVE, it's going to be a tough one because, again, Tarrabah is still an exotic, so it will take up that exotic slot, whereas Recluse isn't. And Recluse is just as much a deadly weapon inside of PvE as it is inside of PvP. But considering what we saw here at Ravenous Beast, if I'm not pressured to use an exotic elsewhere, Tarrabah 100% would be the weapon I would choose over Recluse. Now, inside of PvP, this is where things get tough. I really like this SMG. On a personal note, I will probably use it over Recluse. But two big factors working against it. Number one, bottomless appetite doesn't seem to help us as much inside of PvP. Again, it's seeking you to get consistent amounts of damage. And since finding targets inside of PvP is kind of spotty, you won't be able to take advantage of that trait often. And the second thing working against it is that progress towards Ravenous Beast is taken away the moment you stow the weapon. Like, honestly, I can get past the bottomless appetite if gaining progress to this weapon stayed the same even after stowing the weapon. Because if you were able to run around the map, pop some shots off with your primary, roll out your SMG and start getting some shots off on an enemy, and start building toward Ravenous Beast, and then go up in an enemy spawn, and then proceed to unleash it, you see where I'm going with it, fellas? Unfortunately, that playstyle is not applicable here, as the only way you're really going to be able to do that is by just maining this SMG. And by limiting yourself to just close quarters combat, I can't see this weapon being used outside of maybe quick play. So for the time being, I think Recluse will probably be the weapon many people still use inside of PvP over this raid exotic. And I know there's going to be a lot of PvE players saying, well, no shit, it's the raid exotic. But so was Vex Mythoclast, folks, okay? And every PvP player out there in Destiny 1 clawed their eyes out for that gun. It's always nice to see a raid weapon be absolutely disgusting for PvP. We definitely want it to be good in PvE first, but if it can also be really good inside of PvE, that's just a double whammy, man. Tarrabah, or however the hell we say it, overall, guys, is a very good exotic. If you're a PvE dedicated player, 100% get this weapon. And if you're just getting sick of seeing Recluse every day inside of PvP and you just want to fight it with something, then this SMG is for you. Well, guys, that is our review here of Tarrabah. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Somebody wants to hit me with the pronunciation, I'll pin it. About to get 1,000+ comments of how to pronounce this weapon. Anyways, fellas and ladies, thank you all for coming and watching. And as always,
slap that like button like your mama told you right.